like having a younger, debatably more handsome man steal the lead role doing a character's voice that I've been performing for 25 some odd years. So are the games of our lives. It's me, Mario. These are the games of our lives. Super Mario and Pokemon and all the games that took us to another place and made us want to keep playing all night. These are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, accompanied with Tony as always, and today we're here to talk about the future games of our lives. This week is going to be a little different than the format has been so far. Also, welcome back. We had a little hiatus. I moved cross country, and now we are back at it. I'm in the new studio. Life is good, and instead of picking a specific game or franchise this week, which we will be resuming next week, this week something happened in specifically the Nintendo landscape that may change the course of our lives forever. Tony, how you feeling about the Nintendo Direct overall?
I can't believe it, honestly. This is where I'm at with... Let me just say this. I've been so disappointed by every Nintendo Direct for the past 10 years, maybe 5 years or so, that when I heard about this one, I heard about it and then I just forgot that it was going to happen because I cared so little. And man, this is the time I should have watched it.
Nintendo really lulled us into this false sense of disappointment. I didn't have a lot of expectations going into this one. I was just like, wow, okay, I guess they're going to be talking about some Nintendo stuff. Sure, maybe we'll get the Smash reveal, but maybe we'll get some more info on Breath of the Wild or something. I don't know. There was not a mention of Breath of the Wild 2, and this is still one of the best Nintendo Directs that has maybe ever been released.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Be our guide on this wonderful, wonderful, very rare occasion that we're about to have, which my hat is literally on my butt because it's been tipped so many times it's fallen and rolled down my back. Believe that?
This episode's basically a giant tip of the hat to Nintendo and a wag of the finger to anybody who's trying to stomp on our happiness.
Yeah. This is a very rare occurrence right now, what we're witnessing. So everyone, take a deep breath, get your popcorn ready or whatever you chew on while you listen to this, and to an amazingly rare moment in this podcast's history.
So the Direct opens up with some DLC for Monster Hunter Rise. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but then I saw a big dragon. It was Rathalos, and I thought this was like the Smash reveal. I was like, it's going to be a Monster Hunter person for Smash. Here we go. I'm already sad. And it ended up being the Monster Hunter Rise DLC, which comes out next summer. I personally haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter. Tony, I don't believe you have either.
I played one game.
I'm super pumped for the people who do love Monster Hunter Rise. I know it's a very, very passionate community, and I will say, not for nothing. Now, Monster Hunter, I'm pretty sure, is a Capcom property. Capcom has been knocking it out of the park lately. They're just going ham on the planet right now with their games.
You think so?
I mean, they had Resident Evil 8 come out this year. They had the Ace Attorney games come out. They're always working on some sort of, Marvel versus Capcom shenanigans, probably. I don't know. And I'm sure there's games that I'm straight up forgetting, and they're just doing a lot, and it shows, and it's very good. Capcom's a good company right now.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm really just not a fan of any of those games, to tell you the truth. They're all, I understand how popular and how well done they probably are, but they're just not my go-to games, so, but good for them.
That's fine.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Nothing but love.
Let's get a new Mega Man, maybe.
Mega Man Powered Up 2. How about that? Has anyone wanted to do that?
The Squeakquel.
He's puny, but he's cute.
After Monster Hunter Rise DLC was announced, they already started throwing haymakers from the get, because they talked about Mario Party Superstars. They revealed the final two boards, I mean, honestly, this is awesome. From the first game, you got Peach's Birthday Cake and Yoshi's Tropical Island. From the second game, you got Spaceland and Horrorland. From Mario Party 3, you got Woody Woods. And the mini games from the first 7 or 8 Mario Parties, like a greatest hits collection, all in HD. It's the dice block goes back up to 10. There's no ally characters in this game. So we just know for a fact that it's going to be an incredible Mario Party experience.
It sounds great. It sounds really as good as a Mario Party game could get, right?
It's going to have online play. I'm trying to figure out, like, Nintendo does this thing. It sticks to what I like to call the 90-10 rule. And my friends back home are very familiar with this because I complain about it all the time. But Nintendo, for almost all of their first-party games, they get like 90% of the game literally perfect in like every aspect. But then there's 10% of the game that you're just banging your head against the wall like, this is the easiest miss in the world. Like with the first Super Mario Party that came out for the Switch, that 10% was like, how is there not online capabilities? Like, what is happening here? Like, it's such an easy miss. But they did end up fixing it 2 years later, but whatever. But Mario Party Superstars just looks like a dang near perfect Mario Party experience.
As good as it can get, I think. Well, I want to say that even when they made online for Mario Party Superstars, there's still not matchmaking. That's like a kind of like salt in the wound of that 10%. It's like, all right, we'll fix it. We'll give you like 5% of that 10% though, because to me, I don't know, if you could make Mario Golf Super Rush, if you could have that matchmaking, literally have an unlimited time limit of swinging your racket because you're afraid that someone's going to use their power move and just like knock your ball out of there, then there's no way you can't tell me that you're worried about people in matchmaking taking too much time to hit the die block or the dice block. Like, that's the only problem I could see happening in my head, and I don't know, just put a 5-second timer on everything and the games would run fluidly, and the matchmaking would just take Mario Party to such a good, enjoyable level. And Mario Party is always, it's a dice rolling game, and those are games that I always somewhat try to avoid when they're so heavily impactful on the rest of the game. But, there is a lot of skill to it, and there is a lot of, the mini games are the best part, but I would love if they made matchmaking a feature.
Is there not currently any matchmaking in Super Mario Party right now on the Switch?
I don't think so. What did I call Mario Party Superstars?
That's the new one, yeah.
Oh, okay. I meant Super Mario Party.
Do you mean matchmaking as in like just going online and facing off against randoms on the internet?
Yeah, there is none of that.
Oh, I actually don't know. It's been confirmed that all of the mini games are going to have support for online play, so I imagine you're going to be able to just play boards online. I think they did already confirm that, and they did confirm that you can actually save an online game and come back to it later.
Yeah, I don't know. After this one, like...
I am curious how matchmaking will work, like whether you have to just be friends with everybody who wants to play, or you can just team up with randoms, because I mean, there's value to both experiences there for sure.
Definitely. I mean, I'd love to play with friends, but I don't know, something about matchmaking. I mean, whenever you play a game in your house, you're like... before the internet, I mean, now you're talking a remake of a game, or of games that came out when we were still in the very little internet stages of our lives. So you would play mini games and be like, wow, I can't remember the name for Mario Party 3. It's like you're in the little jet boats. It's like Water World, I think. It's like my favorite mini game. Good that I can't remember the name. Anything like that. Like any mini game, you're just like, all right, Mecha Marathon. Like, am I the best in the world at this? Like, I'm probably not, but like I want to see how
where are the leaderboards?
Yeah, I want to see how good people are at these games, and they're gonna be good. I mean, over the years of getting my butt kicked so many times, I've realized they're probably gonna be pretty good. But I still want to compete against those people, And when they made Super Mario Party just like set a password or play with people on your friends list, I was like, are you kidding me? Like that is just so half of what I want,
Here's to Nintendo getting this one right, but
yeah.
I think even if they don't have the leaderboards, it's still going to be a fun experience because, guys, let's be real. It's Mario Party. It's Mario Party. It's the classic Mario Parties, and it's some of the best mini games that you're going to be able to find this side of the Mississippi. Tell you what, boyo, hoo-wee. Sorry, so sorry.
Yeah, what? Where are we?
I don't know. I'm not even on the same side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, right. I had to think about that for a minute.
But that's the beauty of Mario Party. You don't have to be on the same side of the Mississippi to play the game together.
We just have to know each other.
That's it. That's it. No strangers. Nintendo is anti-stranger danger.
Oh, yeah. Tip of the hat for that.
Is there a minigame that like you would love? And I don't remember which minigames have been confirmed or not. Is there a minigame that you would particularly love pop up in the game?
Too many, I think, to name. A lot. There are really good ones in Mario Party 1 as well. I've been playing through the Mario Parties the past couple weeks, actually, in preparation,
oh, nice.
Spoiler alert, yeah, for an episode that may be coming up about the first 3 Mario Parties. And,
hey.
yeah, so I've been taking notes, and I didn't write specific minigames down, but, I mean, off the top of my head, Waterworld's a great one from Mario Party 3, Facelift from the first 2.
Facelift was so good.
And maybe I love the Jackhammer game too. I think that's in number 2. I forget the name of it though. When you have to cover the outline.
Jackhammer was really good. I like the one where you have to dig to find the treasure in Mario Party 1. I think Mario Party 3 did it better though with the pizza mini game.
Oh yeah.
Is it Eats a Pizza?
It's me,
Luigi.
Oh, we're gonna get there too, don't worry. We're gonna get there.
Speaking of voices, Square Enix has a new game coming out called Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars. It's a card game, a strategy game made by the Square Enix folks. It has like a very Final Fantasy watercolor aesthetic to it. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's definitely like an interesting looking strategy game. You know, I want to see more of it. I know one of our friends who's going to be very interested in this game, but it seems really cool, and it comes out soon. It comes out in October.
Hype for the game, 3 out of 10. Hype for that segue you just got here with, 10 out of 10. That was nice.
I try. I really don't have much else to say about Isle of Dragon Roar, so I really had to front load it with a good segue. But, you know, we're dancing from game to game, and that's why we're going to talk about Disco Elysium, the final cut, which is going to be coming out. It's a detective RPG. It's a detective RPG that's coming out. It's like an isometric third-person game. It's called The Final Cut, so I'm guessing there's been DLC along the way, but here it is coming to the Switch. From all accounts, I've heard this game is fantastic. It just hasn't made its way past my eyes yet. I don't know if you're familiar with the game.
Nope.
All right, perfect. Here's a game that I should be familiar with, but I'm also not. This is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Getting some DLC. For someone who loves Zelda games, I just have a really hard time playing the secondary titles like the Age of Calamity, the Link's Crossbow Training, and the Wand of Gamelon, whatever. They never really stood out to me. Have you played Age of Calamity?
No, I'm not a big fan of I can't believe I'm blanking on the name. It's
the Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warrior. I was like something Warriors. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Dynasty Warriors. And to be completely honest, you know, I don't play a ton of Zelda, so putting like a Zelda skin over a hack and slash, like 3D open, it's just definitely not my kind of game. And a lot of pessimism coming from the east side of the Mississippi right now. I apologize for that, but we're getting to some good stuff. Promise.
I mean, listen, I really appreciate what they're doing for Age of Calamity because it looks like they're really putting in a lot of care to a game like this, which only gives me high hopes for Breath of the Wild 2. Like, if they're putting this much love and care into this Breath of the Wild universe, which is basically what Age of Calamity is all about, I can only imagine that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be absolutely stacked with content and be totally incredible.
Yeah, I can't deny that. I mean, it's probably going to be another 10 out of 10, as the first one was, and I've heard almost every human on the face of the planet say that, so it probably is. Probably safe to say that, right? And I didn't really know that Age of Calamity in those games were connected, so yeah, I also don't know what they're really doing with the updates. I kind of...
Adding new characters, new maps, new story content.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, the strong one there to me is story content. I feel like characters and weapons and stuff are
From what I can tell, it's a phenomenal game for, like, backstory and lore for the Breath of the Wild universe.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it basically takes place during that 100 years ago war where all, like, the champions were. Like, you can play as the different champions and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So,
all right, that's cool.
Yeah, like, I kind of love, like, the setting and what they're doing with it. It's just the gameplay is just not for me.
Yeah, understandable, but cool stuff to know. I didn't even know what the game was about, to tell you the truth. That's my interest level, unfortunately.
It's all good because this next game is super interesting. Maybe might have piqued your interest a little bit more. It's called Chocobo GP. It's Final Fantasy Mario Kart, right?
Looks like it. Yeah.
Listen, you get to play as a Chocobo on roller skates, which if you played any Final Fantasy VII, you already know Chocobo races are either the most incredible thing in the world or the bane of your existence. And here's just another way to showcase that in your life. So love it or hate it, Chocobos are here and they are racing, baby, onto the Switch.
I hope my money doesn't race out of my pocket for this game because I'm not very excited for it.
If I had to compare it visually to another game, another kart racer, it looks most like the Sonic Team Racing game. You know, I still think Mario Kart is the cream of the crop. You know, Crash Team Racing is like right on the heels there from everything I've heard. But Final Fantasy Chocobo Racing,
spoiler alert,
people are gonna love it.
They probably will love it. Let's be honest, it's probably gonna be okay. But spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about that Crash Racing game. Your boy has played that recently, and that's what have we been playing? And yeah,
beautiful. We'll talk about that in a little bit then.
Oh yeah.
While Chocobo GP might be a forgotten title, this next game will stay in our minds forever. This is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, Nintendo did not have to go this hard. I spent the first 15 seconds of this trailer really just trying to figure out what the heck is going on, because it looks like The Last of Us, but it was too cute to... Like, I'm like, this can't be that scary because it's kind of adorable. I'm like, what kind of Dawn of the Dead situation is happening here? And then all of a sudden you see Kirby washed up on the shore. It's like, oh my god. It is a fully 3D Kirby action-adventure game where you get to play as the little pink puff and explore the ruins of what looks like Atlanta, Georgia. And it's something else, man. This is Nintendo at their absolute best, doing like the weird stuff that just looks really good.
We are about 20 minutes in, and you will finally hear me say it. Yes. Absolute yes. This is yeah, you couldn't have said it better. Yeah, this is so hyped for this. This is exactly what they do, a weird, obscure thing, and it's so funny to be like, oh yeah, Kirby doesn't have a game like that, and you're just like, wait a minute, it's like a Mario game with a Kirby character and his moves, which his games are always a lot of fun. His moves are always so much fun. Mario platformers are always amazing, or any kind of Nintendo platformer is mostly always good. And let's take like a weird Halo kind of Last of Us environment, but lighten it up a little bit and try to make it just a tad eerie and also really cute. Like, they nailed it with every part of every game, and I think making a game like this is such a good move. I'm really excited for this one.
The aesthetics are just like so spot on.
Yeah.
Like, in hindsight, like once you saw that it was Kirby, you're like, of course this is Kirby. And then when you see the areas with the enemies in there, you're like, oh my god, like this is, they really could not have done something more perfect. It almost, it just, it's something that the Kirby franchise just has needed so badly for probably close to 20 years. I mean, like, there's been almost zero innovation in this franchise from day one. Like the most innovation Kirby has seen was with the Crystal Shards when you could combine powers. And then they backstepped on that for the last 20 years, and they're like, we're just going to do some more boring 2D platforming. And now that they're here with this fully 3D world, like, it's just so, it's so crazy, and it's so out of Kirby's norm that, like, I just see, like, that this could just work so well and be such an instant classic.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But I'm ever since I heard of it, I'm having the hardest time with it. It's called Kirby and the what?
Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh, okay, yeah, I keep forgetting about the land.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to say it. The title's not the greatest, but oh man, like it just seems like such a fun game, and the fact that it's coming out in only like 6 months is pretty incredible.
Yeah, this is one, if they do it right, and I'm very optimistic that they will. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is like a 10 out of 10 announcement to me, and it might not even be the best announcement that they've made.
The pacing for this direct was perfect because, you know, they open with Monster Hunter, which is pretty cool, but then they slam dunk with Mario Party Superstars. They squeeze in a couple of games that are fine, and then bam, it's Kirby season. And then it just goes off the rails from here. Because after Kirby, we get a little announcement from Papa Sakurai, and you think it's going to be a Smash announcement, and they're like, all right, we know a lot of you people are here for Smash. Mr. Sakurai is going to have his final Sakurai Presents on October 5th to reveal the final character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that's going to be awesome. Like, what are we, 2 weeks away from the 5th? Not even? It's going to be really hype when they reveal Master Chief as the final fighter in Smash.
Dude, once they say Aunt Jemima's name, I'm going to pop off.
It's kind of cool that Nintendo did this, too. Nintendo is basically announcing other future presents with this Nintendo Direct, and that's something that they haven't really done before, and I kind of appreciate it. Like, we're going to get this information on Mr. Sakurai Presents, and then their very next announcement is Animal Crossing New Horizons. They gave a little tease that we're going to be going back to Brewster, and Brewster's going to have his own little roost in the museum, which is really, really cool. And not only that, but there's an entire Animal Crossing Direct coming in October to reveal more stuff about Animal Crossing. And I know there's more Animal Crossing cards coming out. Character cards to get like certain villagers, because those have been announced, but they don't know, like, we don't know when or who. But I think this is going to be like a big deal for Animal Crossing fans. So the Animal Crossing fans who've been in a drought for a better part of the last year finally get to rejoice. The chickens finally come home to roost, and it is looking to be a great winter and spring for Animal Crossing fans.
Animal Crossing fans have it literally made. $60 and you're getting the car, the air freshener, the warranty, a gas card. Like, you're just set. And you know what? You guys deserve it, because you're a really, really good bunch of people, a very wholesome community, and I'm happy that you have a car to drive.
You know, you don't want them to drive too fast because, you know, rushing can get you in trouble, unlike on the greens in Mario Golf Super Rush.
Yes!
Get ready to tee off, says Games Radar, with new content in Mario Golf Super Rush. They revealed 2 new playable characters, which is super hype. Koopa Troopa, which is kind of like a gimme pick. But then they also announced Ninji, who is a classic Super Mario 2? Mario Brothers 2, I believe, is where Ninji first came out, or was it Mario World?
I saw that character, and the thought that went through my head was, where have I seen that character before?
I mean, he's in Paper Mario. He's in a lot of Nintendo titles.
He's in the 64 Paper Mario?
Yeah, he's in the Snow World or maybe the Star World.
Oh, huh. I've been meaning to replay that game in Thousand Year Door for like 14 years, I want to say. So eventually I'll see what you're talking about.
Spoiler alert, you may have an opportunity sooner than later. But yeah, so not only are we getting 2 new golf characters, we're getting 2 new golf courses. A desert course and a snow course, which both look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, like the aesthetics on them are really pleasing. I've heard that the maps are relatively small and some of the fairways intersect, but that seems to be a common thing with the game as it is. I know in the very first world that happens a lot, but I mean it's fine. Like, I have no issues with that. I still have not unlocked Boo's visor for the month of September, so I'm gonna have to get on that. But I mean, honestly, it was like, I mean, you had the Yoshi colors, and that was really cool. But the Boo visor, I don't know. I'm a Boo main, and I don't even care that much for the Boo visor.
Yeah, that's such a lame reward. That is nothing like different colored Yoshis. And also, I agree with what you said. I don't really care about the fairway intersections that much. I think adding 2 new maps to this game is so hype. I feel like I'm being taken
free.
care of. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm being taken care of as a fan right now, as a customer. I'm just like, wow, yeah, I like this game a lot. I'm happy they made it, and oh wow, really free content? Like, oh wow, like that's gonna keep me playing. I'm a fan of this game, and I'm happy that they did that for us.
Tip of the hat to Camelot, Yeah. I mean, Camelot, you could make a new Golden Sun, and I'd love you even more for that. And I know it's never gonna happen, but hey, it do be like that sometimes,
One day.
A boy can dream. And sometimes people dream of the magical world of Disney, which is another game that's coming out. Disney's Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition, where you get to play as what I can only describe as a knockoff Nintendo Mii. It's basically, all right, this is a game that is designed for people who love the concept of Kingdom Hearts but don't want to do scary battling and just want to hang out with different Disney characters as a Mii. It looks adorable. Not for me, but it looks adorable.
I cannot tell you how excited I am about this game. Because I'm not.
Apparently it's a remake of a 3DS game from a few years back.
Even worse. Somehow, some way, it's even worse now that you said that.
Why, you don't want to go on a honeypot hunt with Winnie the Pooh or hang out with 7 beautiful dwarves?
Nope. I mean, video games can be enjoyed by many different people. I'm happy. I don't know. No, that's stupid. That's a waste of a game. That's a stupid game. I'm not a big Disney fan. Winnie the Pooh's cool, but I'm not a big Disney fan. And this is not a game. This is just, I don't know. Do whatever you want, and if you enjoy it, that's good. I'm not trying to be mean at all. Like, I'm happy they make games like this, but at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of silly. But for fans, like, I don't know. You just maybe charge like $15 for this game. Like, any more than that, now you're just robbing like genuinely warm, loving people, not like the money has anything to do with it, but kind of has everything to do with it. Am I right? Looking at you, Walt Disney, and
credit
and all the conspiracies that surround you. Yeah, I don't know. This is not, I don't know. It's, good. I'm happy they made it. Good. Enjoy it, everyone.
Credit to the people who are in charge of the pacing for the Nintendo Direct, because plugging this game after Kirby, Animal Crossing, and Mario Golf, you kind of needed a breather to just kind of take everything else that you saw in.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, I guarantee you, while this was happening, people were just like, this is giving me just enough time to go to Twitter and fire off my most ignorant responses that I can think of. Because, I mean, the collective does not care about Disney Magical World, but, there's also gamers with children, and they might like it. I don't know.
Dude, there is a legitimate chance that this entire game was created just to give people a Twitter break during this direct.
I mean, because realistically, Nintendo has no business talking about this, like, shovelware title.
None. It was all a brilliant move putting that there and also creating an entire game just to be put there. That's unbelievable.
But not to dunk on Disney too hard, because they did run it back with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is coming to the Switch. And I will say, I've never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I've heard nothing but like it is basically like a lot of people's favorite Star Wars game, period. And
I've heard that.
That game's also getting a remake, like a full remake coming in the future, but the original's being ported to the Switch, and people are pretty hype about that.
That's cool. I'm really not a Star Wars fan at all, and I think I tried to play the second Knights of the Old Republic one time, and I didn't really enjoy it too much, but I have heard really good things, and if, again, that's something that people enjoy, then good, enjoy it, and I'm happy they're getting... Nintendo's just nailing it right now.
There's another game coming out called Dying Light 2. Again, this is another one that's out of my forte. I feel like horror games and first-person games tend to, like, miss me a little bit.
Same.
Did not play Dying Light 1, but the original and the sequel are both coming out this fall and winter to the Switch, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad that Nintendo is diversifying its content on the Switch, because that's something that I think the Switch has needed, and the fact that they're getting, full ports of actually good games is a really positive thing to take away from this.
It is, yeah. That's a really good way of looking at a game that we're not the biggest fans of or even care about at all, and really putting a good, still a good move, though. Still an overall good move.
Right? I like that. So Square Enix was not done, by the way. They have their card game, which is all fine and dandy, but they also have another strategy game that's coming out called... I guess it's officially called Triangle Strategy. There was an announcement for it about a year ago called Project Triangle Strategy. They had a demo. I actually played the demo. It's from the same people who made Octopath Traveler. And the aesthetics are very similar. However, it plays much more like Final Fantasy Tactics than like a traditional Final Fantasy RPG type game. I wasn't super in love with the demo, but I could really see this game coming up big, like sneaky good. And the fact that it's coming out in March, I mean, that's 6 months away. That's coming up soon.
Yeah. And
I think it could be a really nice competitor for games like Fire Emblem Three Houses, for just like the strategy RPG style video games. So I'm pretty pumped for this one.
Now in this, you're just like picking numbers like 44, 117, like trying different angles? Is that the whole game?
Kind of. So imagine that, but they also add circles and triangles and squares, and triangles are good against squares, squares are good against circles, and circles are good against triangles.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. That none of that makes any sense to me, but okay.
But then you do a little math, and you cast, fire, and you win.
All right, well, that actually makes a little bit more sense. Thank you for clearing that up. And
absolutely.
I'm not a big fan of these kinds of games. And next.
Well, next, after Triangle Strategy, so there's a game that's coming out on October 8th. It comes out on the same day as the Switch OLED, or OLED, however you want to call it.
OLED, 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 OLED.
OLED, OLED.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
But I've been trying to actually stay away from watching any trailer content for this game, because I already know it's going to be a day one buy for me, and I'm really excited for it, and I think it's going to be a really good game. I actually kind of zoned out for the trailer for this one, but Metroid Dread.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a 2D platformer, a return to form. This is the first main console Metroid game that is a 2D platformer since probably the Super Nintendo. So this is kind of a huge deal, and I think there's kind of a lot riding on this game.
I agree with that.
But by all accounts, it looks incredible.
Yeah, Spoiler alert. Surprise alert. I'm not a big
I've
fan
never
of
played
these...
this game.
Yeah. not a big fan of these Metroid games, but, especially anything post-Super Nintendo era, it seemed to... I mean, even though people love Metroid Prime, we're not talking about you people. We're talking about me right now, and I'm not a big Metroid fan, and I'm sure this is a really good move, and I'm sure there's a lot riding on it, and to tell you the truth, yeah, it looks good, and I hope everyone enjoys it, and I mean that sincerely. I hope it is a really good game. It looks good, and for all the fans of it, I really hope you enjoy it. And I mean that sincerely, and I mean that.
Well, in 2 to 3 weeks, when we talk about what game we're playing, I'll let you know.
That sounds good. Thank you.
So moving on, Shadowrun has a trilogy. That's a video game. By the way, there's a game called Shadowrun. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that this game trilogy existed, let alone one of the Shadowruns. So those are coming to the Switch. But more importantly, Capcom, again, knocking it out of the park. Castlevania Advance Collection. Are you kidding me? Coming to the Switch? What? There are 3 Castlevania games. Literally, it's already available, but it's a pack of retro classics, including Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X. They're Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo games, and they're pretty dang good. I highly recommend them. I'll get them eventually. I've been busy playing one other video game that we're going to talk about that I'm super excited to talk about because it's kind of out of the wheelhouse of games that we normally talk about, and I'm pretty pumped. But, Tony, do you have any other thoughts on Castlevania Advance?
Actually, these are games that I haven't really played too much, not really a big fan of, so I don't really have a lot of input, but I will say I know how popular these games are, and for all the fans of these games and these types of games, I really hope that you enjoy them, and I'm happy that they ported them, and I sincerely mean that. If you guys like these games, then I really hope this is one that you, or these 4, hell, I hope these 4 are games you can replay or play for the first time and really enjoy, and I mean that sincerely.
So we can copy and paste your response that you just gave right now and apply it to
the next 8 games.
The next 8 titles? Oh my god. So ActRaiser Renaissance.
Oh, I love this game.
It is a Super Nintendo classic where it combines basically like 2D platform adventuring with some epic boss battles and then also like SimCity.
Love it.
Are you pumped for this game? It does look good.
I kind of fast forward through the direct just kind of for the large portions of it, and
I'm guessing you thought it was still part of Castlevania.
Yeah, they're all kind of just this gray kind of like mushy just like game that I'm not gonna partake in, so it's just basically fast forward until I see something that I recognize thoroughly, and well, not thoroughly, but recognize substantially, rather. So, yeah, these, we're touching on every announcement, and it's funny that we say this is possibly... I'm the man that made us take a deep breath before we talked about all this, because it's so good, and I haven't played like 90% of the games they announced, but that's what they do. They talk about a lot of games, and the big ones we could talk about for a long time, and there are a ton of small ones usually that take up like 50% of the direct, and I really skip through all those, and that's no offense to anyone that likes those games or get hyped for them, but I have a very specific niche of games that I like, and but I really hope that anyone that does like these games, that they're good and that you enjoy them, and I really do mean that.
That's good stuff. And I agree. Yeah, I mean, again, ActRaiser's not really for me, but I am happy for the people who are pumped about it. A game that I am actually super duper pumped about, though, is Deltarune Chapter 2. I'm a big fan of Undertale, a big fan of the first chapter of Deltarune, so seeing this come out and for free on the Switch is super exciting. I'm not sure, did you play Undertale or Deltarune at all?
I played Undertale. My girlfriend told me to play it because she wanted to see, the path I would take in it. And honestly, I absolutely love that game. I didn't beat it yet. We're kind of taking our time with it because she watches me play, but I really like that game a lot. I think it is so well done. And then I heard about Deltarune, and I was like, wait a minute, that's real? And they were just like, yeah. And I was like, what? And I haven't played it yet, but I'm so happy that there's more content from, that, person to enjoy. And the fact that there's a second chapter and it's free, like, that's a absolute home run. Like, are you kidding me? That seems too good to be true.
Plus, let's be real, Toby Fox, who is the creator of both games, he is a musical genius, I want to say, because every song in Undertale, for the most part, and the soundtrack to Deltarune so far have been absolutely just chef's kiss. Some of the best music that have graced video games in the last decade, I'd say.
The OST is amazing for Undertale.
It's so good. There's a reason that Megalovania is straight up one of the best video game songs of like maybe the last 20 years. It is so such a jam and a bop, and I'm just happy every time I hear it.
I was lying.
Now,
this is actually a game that no, I'm kidding. No, I do love this game.
Actually, I've never played this game, but I'm happy for those who do enjoy it. Well, let's get the last one of those out of the way, and then we'll talk about the last couple of announcements. And this is going to hurt some people. So Bayonetta 3 is coming out, and Bayonetta 1 and 2, they're like a Devil May Cry, but you play as a really cool gun shoe lady. I actually own Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U, just have never played it. People have been clamoring for Bayo 3 for a minute, and I'm not going to lie, I don't even like playing as Bayonetta in Smash.
Spoiler alert, it's bad. Bayonetta is a bad game.
It's also a Capcom game, another Capcom game. Just proof that Tony hates Capcom.
I kind of do, over the course of I hate to say it, but like I'm not a big Mega Man fan. That's
what
it
about
for
Street Fighter?
There's no more there's more Capcom games? Yeah. I'm not a big Street Fighter fan. I'm really not I like Mega Man Powered Up a lot. That's like the only one that I really enjoyed as a kid, and I have very little connection to the rest of the games, and I'm just not a Capcom person. And I really like when I see Bayonetta stuff, it's like not like the other games where I skip through them. I actually like get mad. I'm just like, I hate this game, and it's not for I don't like the character. I don't like it. I don't like the setting. I don't like the way the games play. This is a game that if this is not
not only is it not for you, you actively seek out to make sure other people do not play this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this is what I will say. I'm not going to say that, but I will say this. I'm not a fan of this game or these kinds of games, but if this is something that you're hype about or something that you care about, I don't care, because this is not a good game and you probably shouldn't waste your time with it.
That might be the strongest take we've ever taken on a video game ever in this podcast.
My name is Tony, and I actually agreed to start a video game podcast with my friend and then just talk crap about and also not play any of the games that we talk about on this podcast. It's entertaining.
It's good
for
stuff.
You guys, I hope, but I play a couple of them.
So the last video game that the Direct talked about, and for those who are listening along and are aware of an obvious omission, we're gonna get there. But Splatoon 3, Return of the Mammalians, is going to be coming out in 2022. It's actually kind of surprising that we're getting a Part 3 in this so soon after Splatoon 2, rather. And honestly, like, from a visuals perspective, I love that the setting is different because the actual visuals look very similar to me overall. It doesn't look like there's much of, or if at all, a graphical update, but there is. It looks like the story mode's going to be really, really fun, and they always are. And it's just a good old time splatting people. It's Nintendo's answer to online shooters, and honestly, they A+.
Yeah, surprise alert, but this is a game I actually really like. Wow. Didn't expect that from your boy, did you? Yeah, I thought Splatoon 1 was, like, unbelievable. I thought it was better than... I mean, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. I think Halo 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and, you know, I see so many shooters coming out, and I just care so little about them, and then Nintendo just does it in their own way, and they do such a good job of it, and I had a nice little run with Splatoon. I was so... They just created this universe, and it's so cool, and it's kind of annoying, but it's, like, pretty cool, and just the amount of weapons and gear and stats, and they put a lot into this game, and the maps and the matchmaking, and I just... the fact that you can use a roller, a shooter, the special stuff, like, I thought it was so good, and then recently... maybe last year or so, I was like, man, I missed that feeling, and I bought Splatoon 2, and I was like, it's the same exact feel. So if they make a third one and add a good story mode and add some new weapons and stuff, like, that's good enough for me. I think Splatoon's a great game, great franchise, and yeah, this is one that I'm excited about, surprisingly.
I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to take part in some more Splatfests and just enjoy the universe that they build, because they've done such a fun job, and I'm so happy that Nintendo's been going forward with this IP. It's one of their newer ones, and it's one of their strongest.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Before we dive into the upgrade for Nintendo Online, that's awesome, right? Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis are going to be online for the Nintendo Switch. We have to get the elephant out of the room quick. Chris Pratt is Super Mario?
Oh, let's just talk about the N64 and Sega Genesis Online, huh? How about that?
Do you want to just skip the movie talk?
No, let's we made a podcast. We need to talk about things, if they're good or bad, so let's talk about it, brother.
Nintendo, during their Direct yesterday, revealed the leading roles for the people who are going to be playing for the voice actors, I should say, for the characters in the new Super Mario movie coming out. And it is star-studded for sure. It is an interesting group of characters. What? It's so out of left field. I don't think anybody like really expected an announcement like this out of this Direct, and I think it adds to like the mythos of how powerful this Nintendo Direct was.
Agreed. Definitely agreed.
But all Nintendo did was like show headshots of an actor with the character that they're playing, and it's kind of hilarious. Like, just the way that they showcased it was like almost silly. You have Chris Pratt as Mario, like a poor man's Ryan Reynolds, I guess. Like he's got the charm, but like, is the world ready for sexy Mario? Like, because I don't know that it is.
Keep going with the list.
So not only do you have Chris Pratt as Mario, you have Anya Taylor-Joy, who is the superstar out of the television show The Queen's Gambit, and she's gonna be voicing Princess Peach. I my brain just says that Queen's Gambit is like just a classic British show because she was also in Peaky Blinders. So I just imagine she's gonna be like, "Oi, Mario, welcome to the Mushroom Kingdom, innit? We got mushroom pie and such." So that's gonna be eye-opening for me when I'm dead wrong. And then you got Luigi, who sounds an awful lot like this Mario, being played by Always Sunny's Charlie Day. I'll pound the table for this 100 times out of 100. Whoever did the casting swapped two voice actors, and I think the movie would be better because they got Keegan-Michael Key to play Toad. And come on, guys, Charlie Day literally sounds like Toad as it is. I think Keegan-Michael Key, who was a perfect Andre 3000 in Key and Peele, would be a phenomenal Luigi. But instead he's Toad? Come on now. And then they go, listen, if all this wild wackiness wasn't enough, we got a Jack of Black as Bowser. Why? I don't understand this one at all. And then Seth Rogen's just going to be laughing in the corner as Donkey Kong. And then they had the audacity to throw up a headshot of Charles Martinet and be like, don't worry, your boy's going to make a cameo somewhere. This is the most confusing casting call, and I'm so... my brain's having a hard time with it, and it also hurts me a little that the same studio that's making this movie is the same studio that did the Minions movies. So it's like, it's setting up to be a beautiful disaster, and I'm kind of stoked for it.
I honestly, I don't even know where to start, honestly. All right, let's start with a good note. For as long as I could remember, I have hated the Minions movies, so that's bad that they're taking part in this. And I keep seeing the Sonic movie in my head, and I think I said this on this podcast once before, but I don't know if we made it 10 minutes into that movie because it was just everything I didn't want, and I was hoping so much it wasn't going to be that, and then you could tell right off the rip, like, oh, this is the kind of movie it's going to be. This is who Sonic is now. Just call up Jaleel and go, hey, Mr. Sister, we'll pay a lot of money. Can you be Sonic again and be the best damn Sonic there ever was? Nope. Let's get Ryan Reynolds to be Pikachu, and let's just do whatever we want to do and ruin everything.
Pikachu. Hey.
Love that movie. Love Detective Pikachu. Yeah, he did a good job, but like a little diversity, a little maybe. I don't know. Hey, they're not doing a bad job, but I see a movie like this, and the first thing you see is Chris Pratt is gonna play Mario, and I'm just like, now I'm starting to think about, and I don't know if this is stupid or not, because he plays in the hero movies, right? Chris Pratt, he's one of them or something. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of those either. The same way I'm not a fan of all the games we talk about, or Star Wars this episode, or DC Marvel stuff. I'm not a fan of any of this stuff that so many people are so passionate about. I am digging myself in quite the hole right now, I will say that. But I'm literally digressing to the point that I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'm sure he's a talented guy. He probably does a fantastic job, and he probably is going to have a nice, soothing Mario voice. But to me, I see this and instantly think of the Avatar: The Last Airbender live-action movie, and they have it's like whitewashed. They put all white people in, and Mario is clearly the Italian plumber. And I'm just like, all right, this guy's gonna do it. And then it's like, all right,
so
Peach.
So you're saying that Sebastian Maniscalco, who's playing one of the
don't even get me started on him. Don't even get me started on him.
He should be Mario because he's actually Italian.
No, that is like saying, oh yeah, no. See, no, we're Italian. Oh no, we go to Olive Garden.
We are two Italian boys, but
putting Sebastian Maniscalco in this movie, so we're not even there yet. And it's already just shit. It's just burning shit in my head. But in the lightest, most sincere way, I'm a little hopeful still, but very, very pessimistic. Very pessimistic.
I don't know that my brain is ready to accept the fact that Mario's gonna talk and say words.
Yeah, too. That's weird.
Like, Sonic, I get it. Detective Pikachu, I can get it. But Super Mario... Listen, and, like, Chris Pratt's kind of like, you know, he's like one of those, like, little sarcastic boys. Like, am I ready to hear Mario just, like, just absolutely zing on Luigi for being a freaking putz or something. Like, I'm not ready for Mario to just like dunk on somebody in a verbal assault. I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like Mario.
Exactly, it's not. That's not Mario. That is just Hollywood garbage to me. Just taking something in that. See, that's like every character that I look at that's or voice actor in this movie just makes me think of like something else. So I know I'm really going deep with this, but yeah, that's the Sonic movie. Like, that's a beloved character and a great at times franchise, one of the most legendary, and then they just like have to ruin it with the most cookie cutter, boring, like bad jokes, like awful plot, just like awful, like that. I feel like I feel like this is what that is, and that's not what I want a Mario movie to be. Like, that's not what it's supposed to be.
Can I make a cursed prediction about this movie? And I feel like it's gonna happen, and I kind of don't want it to happen. Jack Black is gonna challenge Mario. He's gonna be like, Mario, if you wanna save the princess, you gotta challenge me to Mario Kart. And he's gonna challenge Mario to like a go-kart race to like save Princess Peach or something.
It's very possible. Very possible.
Like, the third act is literally just a race, a Mario Kart race.
The Mario world is like the only saving grace for like the potential of them using different Mario Kart stuff, or like Mario World stuff rather, but I Mario Universe stuff. But I don't think it's gonna be enough. And two or three more things I want to touch on real quick. If that's okay. One, yeah. I love Charlie Day. I just want to say that we're both big fans of Always Sunny, and and the fact that he's in here is great. But like, I don't know.
I feel like overall individually, we're fans of most of the people in this cast.
I can't say that, but I like Charlie Day.
I like Charlie Day, Jack Black, and Keegan-Michael Key. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Charlie Day. I could tell you that. At least, but again, if you're casting him for Luigi, that tells me this movie is not going to be exactly what I'm looking for.
The casting director is definitely an interesting person to be like, yeah, no, this is the new voice of Luigi. The voice of Toad is now the voice of Luigi. You're welcome, world.
Yeah, what are they thinking? That's one. What are they thinking? And then two is this is my curse prediction now. I say Keegan-Michael Key has no more than 25 words
in the whole movie.
In the whole movie, because he's one of those people that they will put on the thumbnail of a movie for Netflix, and then you're like, oh, he's in this, and then you watch it, and he's in one scene, and he's like a clerk.
Like, he's just in the background getting groceries. They're like, yeah, Keegan-Michael Key's here.
He's in everything I've ever seen. Like, he's not saying he's not great. He's good. He's really good. But like, I don't know. He's in every show or every movie that's ever come out. If he's actually in it or not, they'll put his face on anything. So that's my bold prediction. And the last thing I want to say, and this is, now we're veering very far off, but one thing I don't like too much, I don't know if this is me being I don't know, nitpicky, or I'm kind of just like calling hypocrisy on Nintendo for stuff like this, but like, Seth Rogen, like, putting him in the movie, like, just, yeah, he's, like, just high 24/7, even when he sleeps, and there's nothing wrong with smoking, don't get me wrong, but, like, this is, like, that's like when I see Pokemon's coming out with a soundtrack and Post Malone is on it, I'm just like, do you know who that is? Like, do you know what he represents? Like, and you're okay with being this very, 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 very censored, like, people-friendly kind of thing, and then you have this just like openly talks about drugs, just like everything that like a lot of different people represent, that they're having to like either a soundtrack or now like Seth Rogen, just like, in this movie, it's like it's a cool it's just they're trying to be cool, but it's like
Right.
everything that they are against, kinda. You know what I mean? Like that's what this cast says to me, and I could tell it's way more Hollywood than it is Mario, and to me, and that's why I think it's gonna be pretty awful. But I'll still watch the first 10 minutes.
Oh, of course.
Thank you for
Feel
letting
free to
me
walk
steal
out.
That. Oh, I'll wait until it's out on Hulu or something. I definitely will not pay for this.
I'm going to watch it day one, and then I will recap the whole thing on the very next podcast we record.
Oh, I can't wait. Save me my 10 minutes, please.
So the last announcement that was made midway through the Direct was that Nintendo Switch is going to be having Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64 games added to their online for a premium price, which is incredible news. I mean, at the end of the day, you get Sega Genesis games on the Switch, which is awesome, and then you get Nintendo 64 games on the Switch, which is awesome. They haven't announced what the price is going to be yet. It'll probably be like an extra $5 or $10 annually is going to be my guess. I don't know where your thoughts are for that.
Yeah, 10 to 20 was my number.
So right now it's $20 annually for Nintendo Switch Online. I could see them jumping it up to $30 annually for the Plus package. Day one, when this gets released, you're going to have access to Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Story, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, some weird game called Winback, and then some game that's in Japanese and I don't know how to read. Oh, Sin and Punishment, which is a never previously released, pretty Japan exclusive type title.
They actually re-released it for the Wii.
I don't know how to read. I said this already.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of actually a big deal when it came out on the Wii because people were like, it's never been released here in America. Not to dunk on those people because that's pretty rude, but that's what it sounded like to me because it's a game that I have zero interest in.
Dude, you know our motto. If anyone likes it, we sincerely hope that it's good and that they enjoy it, but just not something that we really play, or care about at all.
That's you can describe that about what 99.9% of games for us. Unless
Yes.
you got an Italian plumber in red on the front, then it's money, baby.
Let me say this. This might be, definitely is, some of the best news I've ever heard in my entire life. This is insane.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Huge. And they just pepper it in the middle, like, oh, yeah, here, by the way. It's just like, no, not by the way. This is it. This is
Or like
it.
Disney, you can do that. You can play some game Shadowgate or something, and Nintendo 64, and then up, back it up.
This is insane. This is. Let me ask you, why do you think it's insane?
Why do I think it's insane? Well, before you say what I think you're gonna say, in order to play these games, you have to be connected to the internet. So they aren't technically portable. However, playing these games on a handheld console seems incredible. Plus, any of the games that have multiplayer have online multiplayer. So you get to play Mario Kart 64 online with friends. Insane.
I'm speechless. I'm crying.
So for those who aren't aware, Mario Kart 64 is literally one of Tony's top 3 to 5 favorite games of all time, period. Definitely his favorite Mario Kart game.
Facts.
And when they announced Mario Kart Online, I can only imagine Tony ascended to heaven.
As close as you could get. This is unreal.
I'm gonna give you just a couple of minutes to really just let your heart out here. Really just let us know what's on your mind.
Oh, thank you. And it's I feel weirdly doing that because I haven't done that at all this episode. But if you really want me to, I will. I'll let it all out and I'll be real and tell you how I'm feeling. And right now I'm feeling pretty good. Sorry.
No, I'm sure you're choking up because of how impactful and powerful this is.
Yeah, this is This is a dream come true. I will say that. You're a kid, and there's not much internet going on, but there's some damn good games that are out. And some of the games that I loved so much for N64 were Mario Kart 64, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. Those are 3 games that I love. And then, GameCube comes out, Xbox comes out, PS2, you start to get in that era. And, I'm playing Halo 2, and I'm loving every second of it, except for the 80% where I'm very mad at the game. And, I just think to myself, man, all those Nintendo games that I played, if I could play those the way I'm playing this right now, it would be unbelievable to play those with other people online. And then, you can't. And then the Wii comes out, and you can, but, Smash is, pretty unplayable, and I don't know, I didn't play...
Brawl Online was borderline unplayable. I'd say Mario Kart was better.
Was it? I didn't play it. That's one Mario Kart that I just didn't play much.
Mario Kart Wii was... Honestly, it was a good title, Mario Kart Wii. But
I've heard that.
But the online wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it was playable.
Alright, well that's... To me, nothing on the Wii was really playable, but it's good to know that there... But that's only from my experience with, a handful of games that I tried to play. It just didn't seem like Nintendo was really there yet with online, And then the Wii U comes out, and you're like, is this it? And it, Smash wasn't too good, but, it was a step up. But, they were getting closer and closer,
Here's
and, Mario Kart was good.
Quick interjection. Smash Online is still bad.
Yeah, maybe comparing it to Smash isn't a good idea, but that's...
Yeah, because Smash Ultimate Online is still bad. The professional players are definitely they're like, we're done with this, we're just going to do in-person tournaments again.
They said that, really?
Go get vaccinated.
Well, yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Ultimate has all the potential in the world, but there's just a lag. There's just an input lag that Nintendo knows about and refused to fix, and that's just I don't think the game lagged that much when I played it online, besides the inherent lag that the game just has. Aside from that, it's a pretty far out game. I think it's really, really cool. But yeah, I don't know. If people aren't enjoying it, then I want them, to sincerely. But whatever.
Yeah.
I bring up all of these things just because now we're in the era of the Switch, and I feel like Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are my second favorite Mario Karts, and N64 being the first. Then I got Mario Tennis for the Switch, and I was like, I really hope this is the 64 version, and it was very similar to it. It felt so much like it.
It plays great.
Yeah, fantastic, and the online is good, and that was where these things start to meet, where I'm like, wow, the game that plays so much like the game that I love the most, the games that I love the most, now I actually get to play them online. I'm playing Mario Kart in a way that I've never been able to play before, and in such a good Mario Kart at that. Mario Tennis, they're making Mario Golf. To me, that was super hype, even though we talked about it, one of the, I think it was the first episode, right?
Yeah.
That, to me, I'm just are you kidding me? They're gonna, do that on the Switch? The Switch seems like all the games are being done right, even... I think Smash 2 is Smash Ultimate is the closest thing to Melee, even though it's not really even close to it at all. But all these games are is close to the best renditions of all these series to me.
Are you trying to say that the Nintendo Switch is maybe one of the greatest Nintendo consoles of all time?
I am saying that. I'll put my foot down firmly and say that it's one of my favorite systems ever, and I think it's fantastic. And if they weren't doing that with these games with golf, which is fantastic and close to the 64 one, feels like it, tennis, kart, Smash, all these games, you know what? Not only do you get to experience that, but here, just take the actual games, too, that you always wanted to play, and play those online, so your little kid self that wanted this for 15, 20 years... answered full circle, wholeheartedly answered. I am stunned. I can't believe it. I couldn't be more excited.
What is the number one game that you want to play online? I think I already know the answer.
Mario Kart, baby.
It's Mario
Kart 64. I want to see what these people can do.
So a couple of the confirmed games available post-launch. I don't know if you saw these.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the games that we have that are definitely coming are Majora's Mask, Mario Golf, Pokemon Snap, F-Zero X, Kirby 64, Paper Mario 64, and Banjo-Kazooie, baby!
The hype.
Listen,
Are you kidding me?
I popped off for Banjo-Kazooie. I was so incredibly stoked about that. Banjo may be my favorite video game, period.
Yeah.
And and also Sega Genesis games, I guess. Now listen, if you're hyped for the Sega Genesis games, we understand that Sega Genesis has a bunch of really good games, and we're happy that these games make you happy. But it ain't the Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Because these games on the Nintendo 64, these are the games of our lives.
And these are the games of our lives. Our lives.
Exactly. So that's what's going on with the Nintendo 64 Switch Online. I can't wait to see what they announce in October regarding the price and everything like that. And I can't wait to see what other games are going to be coming to Switch Online.
Ooh, one thing I wanted to throw in, I just realized right now.
Yeah.
I'm so curious, and it's okay if they don't at this point, it's okay, and I accept it. But if they do any kind of implemented ranking system that everyone knows I'm pretty obsessed with any of these multiplayer games, they're a point system or something like they have in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Golf, Super Rush, that'd be crazy. That would be unbelievably crazy. But
Tony, you're going to be at the top of the time trials, is what you're saying.
I don't know. These it's like every other game except to me it's taken way further with Mario Kart when we always say we're better than all the casual players, we're the best person, at the party or something. With me, Mario Kart, I really pride myself on being good whoever I play against. But
right.
But time trial wise, I don't know. These players are really good, and I can't compete with them. The ones that practice. And it's just I can't compete with speedrunners. Thousands of hours of practicing lines and things. I just tip my hat to them. They put a lot of work in.
Absolutely. You know what would be cool though? A game that I think would be fun. Imagine if they came out with Pokemon Snap, but what they did is you could do Pokemon Snap Red or Blue Edition, and it came preloaded with a copy of Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue that you could play in that little Doduo Pokemon area.
You're tripping me out, man. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be insane.
I think that would be that's asking for too much though. That's me being greedy.
That's a cool idea though.
I think it could be fun. I think it could be implemented very easily. That really covers basically all of it for the Nintendo Direct. I got to tip my hat to Nintendo on this one because damn, they really knocked it out of the park. I find very little to complain about regarding the main titles that I care about.
Agreed. I'm gonna throw a quick tip of my hat, a giant quick tip of my hat to this entire Direct, and then a quick wag of my finger to Disney. Stay out of my Directs. All right, you got that? Stay out of my good Directs from now on.
No, they're like a sacrificial lamb. They're important because we needed to catch our breath after all of the incredible announcements that were made. But you're on thin ice, Disney. Watch yourself.
Yeah, whose side are you on? Good save. I could find a different sacrifice, maybe just a dancing Sakurai or a dancing Miyamoto being like.
It's where they would
"This
put
is
the
great."
Reggie bits, but Reggie's not here
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Wag of the finger for letting Reggie go, Nintendo. Just letting him
Yeah,
slip
what?
through your fingers like that.
What happened? You really let that man go? He's good.
I mean, I think it was Reggie's decision to leave, but he's in charge
Yeah.
of GameStop now, so blah, 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 blah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on the board at GameStop.
Didn't he? He started with Domino's, right? Am I making that up?
I have no clue where Reggie came from, but his time with Nintendo was golden and beautiful and perfect in almost every way.
Perfect in every way. Shout out to Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Hey, nice
Yay.
rhyme. Tip of the hat to you for coming up with that one.
Stop. Come on. Stop. Thank
So Tony, what games have you been playing this month?
you. Dude. Well, this is... Let's go one for one with the games, if you've been playing a few. The Mario parties for the N64 for an upcoming episode.
Of course.
Your turn.
My turn. Actually, I haven't been playing that many games because I've been a little busy moving cross country. So I actually have only been playing 2 video games. 3 if you're... All right, I've been playing 3 video games, but 2 of them are the same 2 that I plug every week on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BillTheFajita. I just started streaming again, and I have a regular schedule. I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central. On Tuesday, we played Pokemon Black 2 Randomizer Nuzlocke, and on Thursday, we played a little Super Mario Sunshine and watched the Nintendo Direct, and on Saturday, we're going to be playing a little more Pokemon Black. But by the time you hear this, the next stream will be on Tuesday, and I don't know what I'm playing then. But I'll see you there at 4 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/BillTheFajita. Tony, your turn. What game have you been playing?
I played a game called Crash Nitro Fueled Racing for the Nintendo Switch. And,
How do you like it?
let me say this. Let me say that for the first time in my entire life of playing video games, I've never had to read and then agree to 2 separate terms and conditions that were each 42 pages long and also unable to be quickly scrolled through. You had to go through every single page one by one of 42 pages 2 times and agree to them. And agree to them before you play the game.
I hate all of that.
Awful 0 out of 10. And then if I'm doing that, I've played some damn good games in my life, and I've never had to even keep the receipt when I buy the game. I've had to do literally nothing after the game is bought, and I've enjoyed them immensely. If I'm signing 84 pages of documents and pressing buttons, literally using my hands to press buttons to skip through these things and go through them, this better be the best game I've ever played. And it wasn't even that good. Yeah, there you go.
So you didn't really care that much for Crash Racing?
No, anyone that says that it's not even in the same arena. It's not even in the same world as Mario Kart. It's a fun game. You don't rely so much on the drifting is more about timing based. They're very quick drifts, but the way the game feels without drifting, just the way it runs, it's fun. It has a nice feel to it, and maybe if I gave it more of a chance and played it more, maybe it would grow on me. It's just a remake, I think, or something. I'm not really sure what it is.
It's a port, yeah.
It's a port, right? Yeah, so you're it seems like a good game for its time. You get thrown into this little overworld and you have some, stupid stuff you don't feel like doing. You just want to race, and then you race and you go to the next part and this and that, and there's some characters and whatnot. But it all comes down to racing, and the racing itself is just it's fine. It's very okay. It feels good, it handles good, but the drifting is not really my cup of tea, and the computers are just very hard for no reason, and I really find little ways to to completely surpass them. It feels like no matter what you do, you might just get passed out for no reason, and maybe I'm just bad at the game, I'm just making excuses, but I really just did not have a lot of fun with this at all, and I had high hopes for it, and from the second you turn it on, you're just like, this is trash that I have to read all this right now. Like, what are games turning into? What is this? Oh, it better be good. Oh, it's not. That was very, very much a letdown, and I'm sorry that I just babbled about that for so long.
No, I'm glad that somebody was able to actually play Crash. Another game I've been playing this week is Hades, which is it's a roguelite game. It's cross-platform. You play as the son of Hades trying to escape hell in order to find your mother, basically, and you're fighting through these like different dungeons, and it's a randomized dungeon with random enemies in it. There's a handful of boss fights that are also kind of randomized, and it's a pretty cool game. It's really fun, actually. I got pretty far in the game recently, and it's been a nice little time sink, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for a game that might be out of their comfort zone, but still really has like really high replayability.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about that game.
Yeah, it got a lot of it got a lot of attention last year. Like, a lot of people were like, "This is like the indie game of the year," and I totally see why people would clamor for it, because the game aesthetically looks great. The controls are flawless, I would say,
Wow.
and it's a really solid single player experience.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's always good when you try out a game like that and it turns out to like be what the hype is about, you know?
Yeah. Anything else on your gaming agenda lately?
A couple more. One of them is FIFA 21 for the Switch. I like soccer a lot, and on a couple different kicks of wanting to play. One, just a soccer game, then I got sick of it. Then I was like, man, I kind of want to play a game of Madden. Too bad I don't have online for any console that supports Madden or the newest Madden. I'll just play FIFA again. And I played it a little bit, and it's okay. It's pretty annoying. It's not that good, but I will say there is a character in the game you can use named Lionel Messi, and if you use him, you are basically God. So
Is he basically Michael Vick in 2K5?
you play ESPN NFL 2K5?
I may have dabbled.
Oh, we are playing that game when they bring Xbox games to the
Switch?
Wii Virtual Console. That's like my favorite football game. I think that is, yeah, it's that or Bill Walsh 95 college football for the Sega Genesis. If that's on there and able to be played online, I would friggin' cry. But 2K5 is actually I played that on Xbox Live, like with Halo 2. Those were like the only two games I played. That's my favorite football game, Bill. Let's go.
Ooh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and Michael Vick's insane in that. Even though I used Donovan McNabb on the Eagles.
That's fair.
He had a pretty good speed too, and he wasn't a lefty, so I feel like I could roll out to the right and then just kind of run. Yeah, and I also the last game has been actually Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah, right. Yeah, out of left field. I like Yoshi games. I really do, and I played not Woolly World, Crafted World. I'm sorry, why did I write down Woolly World? Crafted World for the Switch. Alright, start that all over again. So I've been playing Yoshi's Crafted World for the Switch. Wow, out of left field, ha. And I played it when I got it a while after it came out. I was like, oh, I think it's time to have this game and give it an honest try. And it's a game that is good, but then it really relies on it doesn't, like, you don't have to collect this stuff, but they really push for it. They're just like, oh, collect this, and I'm like, man, you're taking a fun game, like a Donkey Kong style, like side-scrolling kind of like inherently decent game, and then instead of going down the right path with it and just like giving it good stuff, you're making it a collect-a-thon, which I'm really not a fan of. And then that was months and months ago, and this week I said, why did I stop playing that game? I don't need to collect any of that garbage stuff. I'm just going to run through the levels like a speedrunner as fast as I can and skip everything.
Right.
And Yoshi does that thing where he's just like, ha, ha, and he like never just infinitely flies. And I am just flying through this game now. And you know what? I'm actually enjoying it a lot more not collecting all that stuff.
Oh,
Good game.
I mean, you can really rip through the levels if you're not trying to collect everything.
Yeah, and the level designs are good characters. I mean, I don't know, I can't see any of it. I'm going so fast, but for the levels where it's like paced out, it's just like I like it a lot. It's a well done game if you like those kind of games.
Well, good. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think that one or Woolly World is multiplayer, so I think my girlfriend and I might be playing a little bit of that in the future.
It's really fun. And there's a little bit of skill, too, if you want to collect this stuff. There's, like, little, like, in-game challenges, like, in-level challenges, rather, where it's, like, time-based. And if you can't react quick enough, you kind of have to start the level over if you want to collect everything 100%. So there's a huge margin of skill, if you want to be a 2-year-old or if you want to really 100% a game.
Is that the one where you could play the levels backwards?
I don't know about that. I haven't done that yet.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on for today's episode?
No, I've done a lot of talking today. Thank you for letting me talk so much. Thank you for a great episode, my friend.
Almost like that's like what we need to do on this show is to talk.
Huh. I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We really appreciate all of the people who are listening across either Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your listens in. If you are on Apple, we do request that you please hit us with that 5-star review. It really helps with visibility on the show. And we're so happy to be back recording for you guys, and we can't wait to get back into talking about specific games next week. And let us know if you're on YouTube or Twitter. You can follow us at Games of Our Pod, and you can let us know what your favorite announcements from the Direct were, what your thoughts on some of the things that we talked about today were. Tony, any parting words for the folks?
Just thanks so much, as always, for taking time out of your guys' days and lives to hear our thoughts and spend it with us, and it means a lot to us, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you, and hope you enjoy it. That's why we do it, because we like talking about it and living it, and if we could give some happiness to anyone else, that's amazing. So thank you.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.